Hey guys, hope all is well. I wanted to jump on here to tell you, I like to do my marks updates and market conditions. I have a lot to share in this video, so get your pens and pencils ready, get your mind right, because it's going to be a reality check for you. But first and foremost, I want to thank Ike and Jeanette, who we finally won a winning bid in this environment, which I'm going to get to, for an absolutely gorgeous house that they're coming to. They're coming to town. That they came to town, and we secured for them. So congratulations, guys, because in this environment, as you know, you could definitely speak to. We're gonna have you on one of our cocktails with Kurt, after you guys close, and just talk to the people here at Great Homes ATL, all our followers and family members, what the market is really like. But let me jump right into it, guys. I've been doing real estate since 2003, and I've never seen a market like this. There's been so many different factors. You would think during the pandemic, everything shut down there for a minute, economic instability. But what's happening is now that the vaccines are out there, the interest rates remain pretty low, although they've been creeping up just a little bit. And the lack of, inventory in the marketplace, it's a surreal type of environment to buy a house right now. So let me just kind of give you a couple of examples over the last week. So we've been trying to put in some what's called blind offers for some of our clients, which means basically if you're a relocation buyer, or you're here in Atlanta, you've gone on vacation or at a business trip, and you saw a house on our website or Zillow, Truly, or whatever the case may be. They love the house so much, they're just gonna put in an offer without seeing the house. Now, sellers and listing agents sometimes will not allow, and they'll specifically say no blind offers. Sometimes they will, but they really frown upon it, because think about it. If you've got 20, 30, 40 people interested in your house, and you take the house off the market and go under contract for somebody that hasn't seen the house yet, because they can't get back to town for another day, 2, 3, 4, a week, whatever the case may be, and you come back to town and you do your due diligence period and do your inspection and all that kind of stuff, or you come and you're like, oh, I thought, from the pictures, this room was going to be bigger or something like that, I don't want to go forward with it. It could cost you your earnest money, number one, if it falls outside of that due diligence period. And then it just puts a bad taste in all the agents in the seller's mouth, because they put all this work into securing you the property, and you could just simply walk away, and they've lost out on other potential buyers. So blind offers, like I said, can they be done? I'll have to look into it in a case-by-case basis, but I would highly discourage it. And I think a lot of listing agents are going to start discouraging it, because, like I said, if you're taking a house off the market in a high demand house that people want, and somebody had already come and seen it, maybe even brought their inspector to kind of look things over before they did a formal inspection, they're going to go with somebody like that. So let me give you like an example, a real life example too, of what happened this weekend. So Ike and Jeanette came down. I always say the house that is ready for you, the house that is meant for you, is the house you end up going under contract for and eventually closing. You can't get emotionally attached to a house. It's really hard for a lot of people, but in this environment, you can't as well. So we did attempt the blind offers with them, didn't work out. They were flying to town and this weekend, and saw an amazing house that had just come on the market and was going to have an open house. I think it was last Saturday. And Saturday or Sunday, I'm losing track of my days, but they said, hey, let's put in an offer. It's going to be over ask price, and we'll come down and go to the open house the next day just to verify. And so we did that, right? We went to the open house. There was a lake in the back, a lot of estate homes in there. The seller had done a great job doing a lot of updating, especially to the kitchen and the master bath. Of course, you had this lake view. So we pull up, feeling pretty confident. We had put in our offer well over ask price the night before. We pull up, the whole street, the whole street is lined up with cars. People coming in and out during COVID with their mask, their sanitizer, all that kind of stuff. And, introduce myself to the agent, all that kind of stuff, looking around, making sure the property looks good and all that. And I just start overhearing, will you take cash? I give you, my client is, willing to make a very aggressive offer. And this is about 15, 20 people that have said that just in the 1 hour that we were there. So not surprisingly, the next day or that night, didn't get the house. But what's happening, guys, is people are pricing it at a very aggressive price, and people are offering significantly over the ask price. So say, for instance, a house is 400,000, right? And you're thinking, hey, 6 months ago, a year ago, we could kind of, negotiate, hey, can you clean the carpets, or can you give us a carpet allowance, or can we get help with closing costs, or, that type of a thing. And can we get, if the house is 400, can we get it for 395? These were typical negotiations that were happening for a majority of our careers. What's happening now is, if you're pre-approved and your max is you're willing to go, and the price of the house is 400,000, you're not going to get that house. What happens now is people are offering 420, 430, 440, 450, no closing costs, sold as is, just want to do, a private home inspection, and if anything comes out, they're going to fix it themselves. That's right now what the market condition is. Combination of high demand, people that have kept their jobs, starting to get the vaccines, starting to get rehired, rates still remaining historically low, and low inventory. It's driving huge, demand. Had another client that we're definitely going to find them the house, but last week listed, went up there that night, submitted an offer that night. We don't even know what the winning bid was, but we had offered, I think, $27,000 over the ask price, and it still wasn't accepted. There could be various reasons. Again, cash buyer, cash always talks. There's no mortgage loan process to go through. There's no appraisals. You could typically close within, 2 weeks or something like that. Could be somebody that had a stronger pre-approval, meaning they were willing to put 20% down instead of 3% or 3.5% down, right? So if you're an FHA buyer, that is doing 3.5% down, again, it's not to say you can't get it. Just understand that it's going to be a process where you're probably going to lose out on multiple houses until you get the house that is, meant for you. So that's the nature, guys. I'm sounding the alarm. I'm telling you, if your pre-approval is 350, 400, 450, whatever the case, do not look for houses at your pre-approved amount. Start looking about $50,000, maybe $25,000 to $50,000 under, especially at the higher price points, right? Probably not so much at like 250, 300. You probably could still be within a $25,000 ratio. But if you're looking at $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 houses, you might have to be prepared to spend $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 over the ask price. So we always keep it real with you here at GreatHomesATL. We're not BSing like other agents out there and brokerage firms and everything. We are head first in the market. We know the market conditions. So we're telling you this to be prepared. We're telling you, watch our videos, speak with the lender, continue to save, have those credit scores nice and high so you can get the best rates, and have your reserves ready to go, because if you have to go over the ask price, which you pretty much have to do right now, you have to have those extra funds. Because let's talk about the other issue. Say a house is 600,000, right? And you offer 650 and you get it accepted. If you're going through a mortgage loan, you still have to go through what's called the appraisal process. So say the house appraises at 625 instead of 650. Three things can happen. You can walk away because the house didn't appraise at that amount, but you would have already loved the house. That's how much you were willing to pay for it, 650. So chances are you probably wouldn't want to walk away, because you're going to probably lose out on the next 10 homes. You finally got one accepted, right? So you have to be prepared to pay that price. But the house appraises at 625. You could walk away if you and the seller can't reach an agreement. Seller could refuse to lower the appraisal, and they can go with a backup offer if they want to. Or you could reach an agreement. Or number three is you're going to have to pay that difference. So the mortgage company is going to go off the appraised amount. So they're going to value the house at 625, right? But you're willing to pay 650. So you're going to have to make up that $25,000 difference on top of the money you're going to put down. So at 625, if you were putting 5% down, 10% down, 20% down, you have to put that down plus that $25,000 difference plus your closing costs, which on average are about 3 to 3.5% of the sales price. Now, finally, let's talk about the new home communities. You have to have multiple options for new home communities because lots are filling up super, super fast right now. And what's happening, and I've talked about it in multiple videos, I just literally read an article in Forbes yesterday. Expect to pay about $25,000 more if you're waiting for a lot to be released and you're still waiting, because the price of timber goes up every single week, it seems like, over the last at least 6 to 7 months. The cost of supplies, windows, contractors, the price of land for these builders to develop the land, everything has gone up in price. So they're not going to even release the lot until they've actually laid the foundation for the house. Before, used to do what's like pre-sales. And now what's happening is, because the price, they have to price it at a point where they're at when they start building the house. So they have to know what the price of timber is before they start ordering the supplies for that house. So they're not releasing it now until typically the foundations and the slabs are being poured, which means if you have 4 lots that are coming available and you have a wait list of 100 people, it's becoming a lottery system. So the advantage, I guess, of working with us is we have so many built-in relationships with builders and on-site agents that we can kind of get the heads up that something's coming down, but we can't guarantee it, because what they're going to do is send out a blanket email, blind copy people on it. If you get to see that first and you hit the button to secure it with your earnest money, then you'll have, secured the lot. But think about it. If you've got 100 people waiting for 4 lots to be released, there's a good chance, you may not get it. Hopefully, again, with our connections, we could kind of give you a heads up, and you could keep refreshing at 12:01 a.m. if that email comes out. So open your mind to different areas, because certain areas just are eliminating price points right now. So if you were a person I could only do Gwinnett, or I can only do Fulton, or I can only do Douglas, or I only do Henry, you have to expand based on your actual budget. And again, if you're getting, going into a model home and they're saying right now it costs $350 to build this house, you'll be on the list, and you end up securing it 4 months down the line, that house might be, instead of $350, $370, right? So don't be, again, at the top end of your pre-approval. So again, our YouTube, our Instagram, at the very top on our profile, swipe through all of our information, all of our content, all of our testimonials, all of our checklist, and we'll be here for you every step of the way. All right, guys, I'm sounding the alarm. So do the education, follow the process, be prepared to pay your closing costs, your down payment, and over ask price in most situations. And on new homes, put your names on the lists for multiple communities, and be prepared to pay more than what the quoted price is at the time of viewing that model home. All right, we'll talk to you soon.